What's up, guys? It's Chadlantis. First video of 2016. Welcome to the new year. This is the location of Xur this week, right next to the Vanguards, and let's see what Lizard Face, Cynical Face, or whatever face you might come up with has for us this first day of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Alright, so he has Imperium Bellicause, Seal Cargrass, the Starfire Protocol, and the Invective. Oh god, the Invective. And then for Legacy Engrams for year 1, it's the Helmet Engram. So you can pick those up if you want the nostalgic helmets of year 1 that have not been brought forward to year 2 yet. Also, the typical items that he has available for you for strange coins if you need those. Me personally, since I have all the exotics now, I'll be buying a lot of heavy ammo synthesis. I also bought a lot of glass needles too. Last week I stocked up pretty heavily on these, so I'm kind of working through exotic gear as I'm leveling them up to see about the proper rolls I need on them. But just bought a few heavy ammo synth. I'm actually kind of getting to the point where I'm going to start stockpiling. I only have one strange coin on this character, but all on different characters, but I'll probably have thousands of strange coins by the time I'm waiting for the next exotics to roll out. Kind of excited for that, but that's for the future. What's for right now is the discussion about these exotics for you guys and girls. Imperium Bellicause, this is for the Titan, of course. Looks really freaking cool. I can't really inspect it because I'm a hunter. I just remembered. It is pretty late. I was drinking earlier in the party, but whatever. I want to do this video recording for you guys. Aiming weapons while airborne holds you in place. With full super, orbs recharge melee. So, two things about this helmet. One, if you aim your weapon while in the air, you hover in the air, which is kind of similar to the Warlock's perk for the Sunsinger. I forget what it's called, but has the word angel in it. So, whatever that perk is called, I don't know. But basically with that one, it lets you do the same thing as this helmet. So, now the Hunters and the Warlocks and Titans can do that now. Hunters are still left out a little bit, so someday maybe the Hunters will be able to aim in the air too, but for now you can use this helmet to do so. A lot of trials users such as like Giggle Monster and Game Sager, you can watch their streams, they do that like all the time with the Imperium Bellicause when they do trials carries, because people always get thrown off. I never really valued this helmet very much until I really started using myself and saw other people use it very effectively. People just don't assume you'd be able to just suddenly stay in place in the air, and they just go ahead and like look lower than you are just to predict where you're going to be heading to. And they just get so thrown off that it just takes that extra like second from there to realize what's happening and look back at you to try to shoot at you. You'll have the advantage at that point. So it's pretty tricky. If people start seeing a lot more play against it, they'll eventually get used to it, but it's still in that kind of early stages of people like not really being used to that, especially when they're going against a Titan. Nobody really uses it as a Warlock because the Song of Flame, I believe it's called, where it applies the burn damage for the Warlock grenades. That's so useful. It's never worthwhile going down that tree to get that Angel of Mercy perk. I'm going to call it Angel of Mercy. I think that's what it's called, but I don't know. However, with Titans, with this helmet, you're not really sacrificing any really valuable perks while using this helmet. Obviously, you can't use like Armamentium, Crest, or whatever with this exotic because you use your exotic slot, but still within your subclass itself, you're not really sacrificing anything. So it's pretty freaking useful for that. It also is really difficult to get used to at first, especially if you're sniping with your primary weapons. It's not that big of a deal, but I tried it out while I was sniping, and I was actually kind of thrown off myself for my shots a few times. I had to get used to it a little bit before I was actually pretty decent with it again, and I still need more practice before I can get really good snipes off with it, because when you aim, you kind of do this little float, like glide a little bit, because your momentum still carries you even though you aim. You just don't fall down anymore, so it's a little awkward, but do a little practice with it, you'll get used to it, and you'll catch a lot of people off guard with this helmet. Also, the second part, which is not as important, is with your full super, you can still pick up orbs off the ground to recharge your melee. Now, of course, as a Titan, you're not going to be really using a melee very often. Not as much as like a reviving Warlock to melee somebody right next to you when you revive, or like a Hunter throwing knives or something like that. Or freaking smoke bombs from freaking Night Stalkers. So OP. Oh my god, that gas. But anyway, the Titan melee isn't used that much. It's pretty nice that you can use orbs when you have your super filled, especially like in trials. You don't really want to use your super this round, but the orbs are going to go away next round. Like, might as well pick up to recharge your melee in case it's not there. It's that extra little second addition to this exotic helmet that makes it. It's just like a sweet spot for it. You know, it's this little nice addition to it. But the main thing is the aiming in the air. It's pretty nice. The steel avant-garde grasp, as I just talked about with the Night Stalker smoke grenades, also the throwing knives for the gunslingers, and then for the blade dancers as well. They can do that backstab perk everybody likes to use. This gives you an additional melee charge, and melee damage may reload primary weapon, which is another thing you don't really see happen much, because it's actually really low success rate from that as far as what I've experienced. I haven't seen it reload my primary weapon very often. It's actually fairly rare. It's not the vice versa for this would be like the Monte Carlo auto rifle, where doing damage replenishes melee energy slowly and has a chance on kills to where it just automatically refills your melee charge. I believe that's what Monte Carlo says. If not, it's very close to that. That perk that procs for the full melee charge suddenly, that happens actually fairly often. However, this one, I never really noticed it actually affecting my primary weapon very often, so I don't know. Maybe I haven't used it enough to really give it its full run through. I admittedly haven't used it like extensively. I just used it a few days while playing the Crucible with my hunter, and just haven't really noticed a very impactful portion for that second half. But the first half, where you gain an additional melee charge, that's freaking awesome, especially for Night Stalker, because if you throw that smoke and with the poisonous gases on people, actually I can show you this in the Night Stalker tree. Envenomed adds the toxin that damages enemies within the smoke. Not only that, but it also slows and disorients people trapped in the cloud. So their screen is all jumbled up. They don't really see much of anything. They barely move at all. They're taking damage from envenomed. And I've noticed that you don't really do like abilities. I've tried throwing grenades while in there, and it doesn't really specifically say that you can't use abilities while in the smoke, but it seems to like freak out and not let you throw them. The grenades at least. So I don't know if that's just like a lag issue, or if it's bugged or whatever, but it definitely doesn't say you can't throw grenades while in the smoke, but it does say it disorients people, so maybe that's it? I don't know. But anyway, even if it wasn't supposed to be that and they fixed that as a bug, or it was just lag issues on my part, I don't know. Even if you can still throw grenades, you're still slowed, hard to see anything, and you're taking constant damage. That's really freaking awesome if you can have 2 of those charges for the Steel avant-garde grasp. So very nice gauntlets there. The Starfire Protocol, you gain an additional fusion grenade charge for your Warlock. Now in Trials, you pretty much always will go Firebolt Grenade with the Song of Flame Viking Funeral. That's pretty much what every Sunslinger does. Some Sunslingers go with the Fusion Grenade because obviously if you attach to somebody, it's almost guaranteed a one-hit kill. Obviously, if you're significantly lower light than them and they have high armor, they can live through that in Trials of Osiris. And that's actually happened to me a few times. I've lived through magnetic, fusion, and flux grenades because I'm just significantly higher of a light than people. But in a normal situation, you will one-hit somebody with the fusion grenade. However, if you miss the grenade, it's pretty much useless. It has like no AoE at all. And even if you are in the AoE, you'll not take much damage, and it definitely wouldn't be fatal. However, the Viking Funeral, Song of Flame, Fire Bolt Grenade, that goes around corners, it hits multiple targets, it brings you into absolute range, it has damage over time, so you can track them through walls with the damage numbers counting. Oh my god, and it stops the recovery from a long time, so they'll stay at like an absolute state, or at least a one-shot state, or whatever you want to call it, for a very long time, because it takes a long time for the damage to tick and to finish. So I wouldn't really suggest this armor piece because it's actually kind of better to not use fusion grenades. However, in like the raid, fusion grenades are really useful against the ogres for like the Oryx phases, because the fusion grenade attachment will actually cause them to stay in place. So you can use the fusion grenade additionally from this perk and this armor piece, while also having something like the Angel of Mercy or the Song of Flame perks. So that's pretty nice there. The Invective, oh my god, if you haven't run into the shotgun yet, then God bless. You have had a great experience in Crucible. Because otherwise, if you're an average player in Destiny, you've probably ran into the Invective and probably died to it many, many times. This is a very, a lot of people call this a cheap shotgun. The range isn't very good comparative to something like a Conspiracy rangefinder, a Conspiracy Theory D that has rangefinder and rifle barrel on it. That shotgun has hella range, even after the nerfs to shotguns and taking out the shot package and all that stuff. That's still a really good range shotgun. So that will probably beat an Invective 1v1 if the timing is perfect and the range is there on the Conspiracy Theory user. However, if you miss your shot in Conspiracy Theory, you have like a 1 to 2 seconds ish before you can shoot again, And yeah, you're pretty much going to be sitting in the water, just floating around and going to die. But the invective, full auto, has 4 shots in the magazine. And it freaking regenerates its ammo over time. Yeah, it also has the final round perk as well. It's pretty cool. You're probably going to kill them in the first 2 to 3 shots. But the invective perk, for the invective, this weapon regenerates ammo over time. You have like no ammo issues. That's like the only saving grace against shotguns, is that you can just like run out of ammo as a shotgunner and just not be that like stupid powerful anymore. So like the fairly common strategy, I mean, obviously you want to go for special ammo yourself, but I personally, if I'm going against a bunch of shotgunners and I don't need special ammo, I grab every crate I can find no matter what, because if I can control special ammo crates and make people not be able to have shotgun ammo, I'm sitting pretty. However, if you're going against invective, they regenerate ammo all the time, man. Freaking, they always have ammo against you, and it's full auto and all that stuff. So, oh my god, get the invective if you haven't already. Plus, this is one of the year 1 weapons that you need to do the entire quest line for. Hope RNG was in your favor to get the quest line and then do it to get the invective. Now you can just buy from Xur. Pretty awesome. So yeah, Imperium Battle Cause, I get that. Takes a little practice, but it's a really good helmet. The Seal Elm Cartographs, freaking just grab it. Especially if you're Night Stalker, it's so freaking useful. The Starfire Protocol, not that big a deal. You can have a perk that gives you an extra grenade anyway as a Sunsinger, so it's kind of whatever. And the invective, if you want to be that guy, there's your gun. Hope you enjoy this review of the exotic weapons and gear pieces that Xur has for us today. Not the Titan, but Xur has. Man, I am tired, and I can already experience this delusion of the alcohol. But you guys are freaking awesome. Thanks so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for an awesome freaking 2015 year. I'm really looking forward to the 2016 year coming up. And as always, citizens, thanks for watching.